I have a problem with that because it's written in English, but the English words don't have any code, so it's difficult for me to read it. So I try from the Zohar directly, if you don't mind. I just want to add something. I just want to add something what the rabbi says before is, and this I studied from the Zohar, and I studied from Ben Ish Chai, who is saying every shiur that we study his books is coming to the shiur. So I'm asking a small question. If I'm running up to Meron to be close to the grave, I can sit here, open the books, and start learning, and he come here. So if he's here, he's here for sure, if we want or if you don't want. As more if you are 10 of us, so no question Chidushim will come down. If you are less, unfortunately, you will not, but at least we know he's here. So he's here in any case. Anytime we open his books, we start to study. It's the same as Ben Ish Chai in his books. So that's what it is. So following the rabbi is, we should do and we should learn. My life experience showing me, don't miss it even one day. The benefits is so much. Sometimes I say to myself, I'm going to the safe and I want to take some gold, some diamonds. Here I have it for free. As much as you want, anytime you want, is available for you. Bezrat Hashem. The situation is that we have Moshe Rabbeinu and Eliyahu Navi and Rabbi Elazar and Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai sitting together. And they're going to say Divrei Torah between each other. And Eliyahu Navi start talking. And this is where we're going to study now. What he said. And try to understand it. We're not going very deep inside. No, we don't. Not at this time. We try to understand the words. We try to understand what he really wants to say. If we will understand the whole Patach Eliyahu deeply inside of it, we will know and understand all the Zohar. So, but we don't have this capacity at this moment. So we started by understanding. Bezrat Hashem, level by level, we'll go inside. By the time we study more and more deeply inside. So in the beginning, who started to talk? Eliyahu Navi. זה פתח אליהו הנביא ואמר ריבון העלמין אנטו חד ולא בחושבן אנטו אילה על כל אלאין סתימה על כל סתימין לית מחשבת ויסבח כלל. אליהו הנביא says to whom he's talking about God, and he said ריבון העולמים, it means master of the worlds, the head of the worlds. You are one and there is no any other account. It means there is no two. It wasn't no one before, no one after, and no one else now, only you. You are the only one and the only one in this when we account to be on there. Echad in Hebrew is one, and Echad have an account from Aleph. Aleph, we have Sefirots says, which Rav Reuveny wrote it, and he said every letter we have mispar, spor, v'sipur. It's we have a number, we have a story, and we have an account. Now, if I take the number, I want to say Aleph. So Aleph is Echad, and by that we can understand it. But Rav Reuveny want to prove it. It's a proof. We can prove that Aleph is Echad. It's very easy. I'll prove it now for you. And we see why Aleph is Echad and not Shnayim. It's mean there is no other word we call Shnayim, which is for us at the moment is two. How we write Aleph in the Bible? Yud, Vav, and Yud. Yud on the top, Vav in the angle, and Yud on the bottom. Yud, Vav, Yud, if I count them, is 26. In small gematria, 2 and 6 is 8. The second letter in Echad is Chet, which is 8. This is a small gematria that I took now and I made it. And what is the Dalet? Dalet is 4 from the same base if I count. So I say Aleph is Echad, Bet Shnayim, Gimal Shalosh, and Dalet is 4. So Dalet is 4. 4 is come from 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 plus 3 is 7, plus 2 9, plus 1 10. Then small gematria is 1. So we prove now that Echad is Aleph. And Aleph is Echad. So he is the only one. Not only that. When we count the letters and say Aleph is Echad, we come until Taf, the last one, is 400. And we have another 5, the last ones, like Mem, Nun, Tzadik, Pei, and Chaf, which is going to be 500, 600, 700, and 900. Here we come. What is after 900? 1000. 1000 in Hebrew is Aleph. Aleph is Aleph. We come back to the beginning. So we see that he is the only one. There is no one beside him. He is, and we don't have any other accounts to say we have more than one. There is no, is only one. Not only that, if I'm trying to say spiritually, from spiritual point of view, I say we say something higher. We take 2 guys and say one guy, we say he have a higher high spirit or high soul. It's not a physically high. Spiritually high. You know that this one is a higher soul than the other one. This one is going to be like 10 feet and this is 5 feet. No, the spirit is high. If I can say what is the highest spirit I can imagine in the world, okay, say God. Any person, anyone, Moshe Rabbeinu, anyone you will take, God is higher from anyone. Higher than any higher that I can imagine. It's not of course I can say high by physically. So I'm going to take a plane and I say, okay, God is there, but where in the moon I'm going to take the moon is the highest place I can achieve, I'm going to be there. It's not there. Physically it's not there. Spiritually that's the point. So the highest point that even I can imagine, he is there. He is the highest, with more than any other's highest spiritual point. Not only that, we see something, sometimes things that we can understand it. For example, if I don't know if any one of you is an astronaut, but if I myself walk into the Apollo 11 or any astronaut instrument, for me it's going to be Chinese. I only can imagine by myself things that I can say, listen, it's like that. And I know this valve is like the other valves that I know from here, and the pipe I know from there. I don't understand the system, but something that I can understand. If I will go some places more complicated, I can say, listen, I can see them, but I don't understand what I see. If I go deeper some other place, I can say, you know, whatever I see, I even don't understand what I see. This is we call in Hebrew stimin, from satum, from not understanding what I'm seeing. He is more than any things that we don't understand. Our mind cannot get it. Our mind cannot understand it. We're working on things that we are imagining things compared to. We see something, we compare it to something that I know, there's something that I understand, and by that I can understand things. But if something that I don't understand it, is satum for me. So anything will be satum for me, something that I understand, even deeper than that. So no way for me to be able to say, I can understand him, I can know him, I can know how he's look. There is no way for me. This is what Eliyahu Navi said. Not even that. My imagination cannot accept it. We cannot understand it because it's over of our mind. Our mind is limited. We have a limited point of understanding because our mind is working by comparing. You see something, you want to understand it, you try to compare it to something that you understand it. So our machshava, our thought, as much as I go higher into that, I'll not be able to understand it. There's no way for me to break your head and say, I really want to understand him. Don't break your head because you never can achieve it. There's no way for us to do it. But what's happening in the world, in the spirit's world, that Adam HaRishon destroyed them. Unfortunately, but this is what's happened. The whole spirit world from the Bria until Asiyah, he broke all the rules. He did something that he shouldn't do that. So he destroyed the world. Easy to say that God could fix them by himself. But he said no. You have to fix it yourself. You break it, fine, rebuild it. But I say, Father, I don't know how. Why you want me to build the spirit world? I don't understand nothing there. How you want me to do that? He said, okay. He gave us 10 from his, I don't know how to say it in English, midot.
Traits.
Sorry?
Midot is traits.
Okay.
Characteristics.
From 10 from his characteristics to be able to rebuild the world, to fix the world. But they cannot be sitting like this. We have to use them. How? He gave us instrument, spirit ones, to contain inside his midot. By that, we will be able to fix the world, or to rebuild it and bring it back to how it was before it was destroyed. And this is what the Zohar says, unto the pekat 10 תיקונים וכנגלן non 10 ספירן. The 10 תיקונים, the 10 fixed things that he gave us, he put it in a case or something that we accounted, and we say Sefirot, we account them. From Sefirot coming from Hebrew words to account, lispor. So the Sefirah is a spirit instrument that can contain inside God midot. Each one by itself, wherever it's supposed to be, which we don't know. By them, we can fix it. And we call it Sefirot. That's how we call it, from the words to account it. To do what? To lead the words. Which word? Which word? To lead the words. That's what we want to do. We want to lead them, to fix them, to bring them to the right place and correct them. All of them? The answer is yes. Which of them? The words that we don't understand them and we cannot see them. It's mean, Eliyahu Navi telling us that there are few olamot, few words, spirit words, that have different way of build, which we are going to work on them. One of them, even if we will see it, we will not be able to understand them. But even though they are covered, we cannot see them. The other one is the words that you can see. They are open for us and we can see them. like in this world. Not that we understand them. We don't understand them, but at least we can see them. We can see them. They exist. And they are covered from human being. They are covered from us. The question is, what Eliyahu Navi trying to tell us? These words, they are not, that they are here, they are hiding in them things that we don't understand. But we see them, and we think that we know them, and we think that we see everything, and they exist. So even when we see, there are things that exist and we don't see them. They are covered from us. Our eyes, what we see in our eyes, this is what God wants to show us. This is not the reality. This is not the reality. I'll give you a small example. Don't laugh on me, please. I'm sure I'm telling you the truth. There is a guy sitting there. His head size is like this. Believe me, this is what I see. Is this the reality? No. But this is what I see. Somebody said, "What if I see, I believe. If I don't see, I don't believe." But this is what I see. Is that the reality? The answer is no, this is not the reality. So what is the reality? This is the reality. Maybe he's bigger than mine. I don't know, but I can say approximately the same size. So what I see in my eyes is something that God wants to show me as it is. This is what He wants to show me. Do I see everything? No. I'll give you an example. Something that I know it exists here, but I don't see it. I know that it's here. Air is here. I know. I see the effect, but I don't see it. It does exist, I'm sure. All of us know because we breathe it, but I cannot see it. I can color it. I can do whatever I want. I can push it. I can suck it. I can do everything what I want with that. But I know it exists, but I don't see it. Why? I don't know. It's some God's cheshbon, why He wants to do that. I know something for sure from my life experience, that I have a soul. I know that I have a soul. It's here? Yes, absolutely. I can see it? No. I can feel it? Yes. I know that it's here. I have no doubts. On the same way, there are other things exist here in the room, but we don't see it. If the angel will come here, and I said before, Rabbi Shimon is coming to any of his lessons, there's no doubts. I cannot see him, but I'm sure he's here. So something in the spirit world exists here, and we don't see it. So we see different worlds. There exist, some of them are hidden for us, some of them is exposed to us. And some of them even exist when we don't see it, and we don't understand it. Even if I would see it, we would not understand it. I said to my rabbi one day, "Rabbi, it's nice, but I don't understand it. How come something exists in this world for us, and all this world exists for us, and we cannot understand it? It's impossible. If He wants it for us, we should understand it. If it's not for us, fine. Okay, it's for Him, I can understand. It's something for Him. I'm not going deeper than that." So his answer was, when Bnei Israel was and they got the Torah in Ma'amad Har Sinai, God opened the sky until the Rakia, Ashri, on the top. And what they saw the Kisei HaKavod. What does that mean? Really chair upstairs? Really chair? We can say, we can describe it as a chair. We call it chair, but really the chair upstairs, we can go and sit on it and say, no, absolutely not. And above the chair, there's more spirit worlds. And what I see there, the rabbi said, you're going to see a bunch of colors. Red, green, yellows, all colors moving right, left, up, down. I said, listen, if I will see that, I can say only one thing there. we have a problem with the traffic lights. So all of them are blinking. But more than that, I don't understand. So that's exactly what it is. We don't. Time will come, Bezat Hashem, and we'll go upstairs, we'll be able to study and go higher and higher to be able to understand. But at this moment for us, we'll not be able even to try to understand it because it's not. One of the things, saying before we start studying the Kabbalah, or the Zohar even, Rabbeinu Ari says, never imagine to yourself whatever it's written, it is exactly like that. It's not. These words here only for us here to be able to communicate. Not because it's really there. We'll come to the points when we're going to say Chesed, right hand, Gvura, left hand. We don't even imagine there is a right hand upstairs and there is a left hand upstairs and there is a right leg and left leg. Don't even imagine. It's not like that at all. It's only a way for us to communicate. Because if you will not do that, we'll not be able to understand it. So it's only a case, a way of talking for us to be able to communicate, to understand what it is. So this word, each one of them, God is represented there. How? How? By his midot. Rabbeinu Ari says, if we say that we have 10 Sefirot, we have 10 of these contains, that are containing God's midot. Are they in which word? In Bria, Yetzirah, Asiyah, which of them? All of them. Each one of them have 10 Sefirot. And how it's represented? In each Sefirah, we have the midot of God. It means we have Chesed in each one of them. We have Gvura in each one of them. So what we see? In every place in the world, we find God exists there. And he is linking all of them together at once. Nefesh HaChaim asking a question. Is this glass exist in the world for real or no? The answer is no. The glass is here for me now. But for all worlds, it's not exist at all. How I can prove it? Very easy. If the angel will come now, can he curse this glass? Yes. Why? Because the glass does not exist for him. Can the angel go through the walls? Yes. Of course he can go through the walls. The walls is not something that will stop him to walk into the room or not. How come? How come? He says, he gave us an example. If you go to the company and say, listen, I want to have a dining room. He is going to design it, buy wood, cut it, things. Okay. Design everything, colored it, paint it, everything is nice, bring it home. He left it and gone. That's it. From now on, he has nothing to do with this table. Nefesh HaChaim says it's not like that with God. Everything that exists in this world, God every second, every millisecond, taking care of that to be exist. Asking how? How it's possible? He proved it. He proved it. He proved it on this way. He said, we asked the question if these glasses exist. We said no. We said, okay, let's go to the physicians. And they said how it's built. It's built by molecular. What does that mean? We have proton, and electron is moving around the proton. The electron is moving around the proton and making it look like a ball. It's moving two ways, one way and the second way, and it looks like a ball around the proton. Okay, we are asking what is the ratio between the ball diameter and the proton diameter? 1 to 5,000. 1 to 5,000. The scientific said that until now, with any instrument, they never saw in any instruments this ball, the electron is moving, they never saw it. But they knew how to calculate it. Fine. Just we understand it. If I cannot see the size of the ball, how I can see the size of the proton inside? That's a big question. So, by the way, they made a calculation. If we take the whole Earth, the whole Kadur Haaretz, and we split it, electron and proton, the proton of the whole Kadur Haaretz, of the whole Earth, would be size of tennis ball. That's it. That's the whole story. One ball. And what he's doing? They said the electron is moving with a light speed around the electron. If he is moving so fast, he wants to come out from this circle. There is a power which holding him not to go out from this circle. How? Which power is existing, holding him not to get out from this circle? So the Greek made a calculation, and they said the power that should keep the electron in this size, or in this place, not moving, is the ratio between surround of I don't know how to say it in English, hekef, okay, and the diameter of the ball, which means is 314, which is pi. 300 is shin, 10 is yud, and 4 is dalet, which is the name shin dalet yud. And this name exists in anything that exists in this world. This exists in any of them. That's how each one of these parts, everything is existing in this world, because this name is inside. And this is God's name, one of the God's names. So if I want it to be exist here, this I need to be there. Rambam says that the machshava is very powerful. Sorry. Very powerful. We can, it's so fast, the thought of, our thought is so fast, we can move words, the word, and we can do many things with our power. And he gave us an example. If you know how to do that, I'm not saying that I know it, but if I'll be able not to shut off Chas v'Chayla, just to cover the Shin Dal Yud name in this glass, the glass will disappear. How? He's going to split the electron and the proton. And what will be the proton? Something very small here on the ground. When he gives back the name, the glass will come back to the same size. That's how powerful is our mind. So, for us, anything that exists in this world, God's name is inside. This is what the Zohar says. The Anthu, the Kashir Lon Miyached Lon. It means you are the only one that connecting all of them together and making each one of them specific. Each one of them by itself. Which means he is in the glass, and he is in my eyeglass, and he is in the book, and he is in the paper, and he is in the camera, and he is in my head, and he is in everything is there, but still each one of them is different from the other one. This is in the physical world. In the spirit world, in every sphere that we go, we'll find his midot there, and He is make them specific by itself, and He is the connecting all of them together. Not only that, you are from inside of it. This is what we already described it. And you are from outside of it. You are make them special. But if you will chas v'chalila touch, or we will take out, or we will ignore one of these 10 Sefirots that we said, we touch God's names. We are going like to abuse Him. We are going to go against Him. It means that all these 10 are one piece. What does it mean? Let's try to understand what the Rav Reuveny is trying to say. When we go to the pshat of the Torah, we say, someone, it reminds me, one day I was in the Brit, and very important rabbi came to me, and he said, Rabbi, I have a problem, this and this and this. You know, he had like the shtable with the 2 buttons in the back, and very official one with the ties. And then he said, boy, ask me what to do. So I told him, listen, Rabbi, the only one that I can offer you, take Sefer Bereshit and start reading it without mefarshim. I look at me and say, Rabbi, you crazy? You take me to A class? We need to start from the beginning? What do you mean, say Bereshit? I said, listen, start to read Bereshit without mefarshim, as it is. Just try to understand what the Bible wants to tell you. That's it. Read it as it is and try to understand every word. It doesn't matter for me. 1 sentence a day, 1 line a day, 1 page a day, as much as you want. That's it. So it's like, do you know me? I said, I know your name, I know you're famous, but he said, I wrote 175 books. You take me to A class, you want me to start with Bereshit? I said, yes, what can I say? This is the tikkun. Start doing it. Believe me, you will see miracles. So okay. Now he look at me like another guy. I said, okay. Time gone. After 2 weeks, he called me. He said, listen, it's fascinating. I said, okay. Something new that you didn't know? He said, listen, the last time that I studied Bereshit was when I was teenage, like in class A. Until now, I didn't study Bereshit. I'm reading it every Shabbat when I'm coming, every year once I'm reading it, but it's not like now that I'm trying to understand every word. So what did you find out? He said, I'm understanding more things that I never understood before. But okay, let's stop talking about that. Continue. We have another 4 weeks that you have to do that. Continue to do that. He found out something that he said himself. He admit that he understood things that he never understood before. He understood the things that he thought that for him is obviously, and he thought always in his mind that Adam Rishon eat an apple. He was sure there is an apple in the Torah. And I asked, did you find the apple? He said, how do you know that I look for the apple? I said, everybody looking for the apple. There's no apple in the Torah. Sorry. He ate the tree. There's no apple there. You can go to the Mefarshim, because they have Pshat and Drash and Remez, they can tell you they have a taste of wheat, they have a taste of Tamar, they have a taste of Te'ena. Each one have his own argument, one like this, one like this. Even if it was in the spirit world, even if it's not physically, they ate something. Still in the physical, in the spirit world. But how to describe it? What he tried to understand. This is what the Zohar says. The pshat of the Torah, as it's written, it's a puzzle. It's one puzzle. We don't like it. I'm saying it because it's difficult for us. And we don't like to work hard. At least in these generations. Why? Because we came to something we don't understand. We're looking for the Mefarish. Who you explain me this one? You open this Mefarish, that Mefarish. You have all the Mefarishim in the book cabinet, and look who have explanation for that. We don't like to work hard. It wasn't like that before. What's the point? Because in the Pshat of the Torah, there's the puzzle is Pshat, Drash, Remez, and Sod. All of them is one piece. All of them is one masterpiece, which is called Torah. This is how it is. I cannot say, listen, I want only the Pshat and the Drash. Remez and Sod, it's not for me. If I say that, it means that I'm ignoring part of the Torah, which I'm not allowed. It is one piece. I cannot take the puzzle and take the pictures of the flowers and the picture of I don't know what outside and say, I don't want them. The puzzle will be with holes and you cannot complete it. It's one piece, one masterpiece. We have to take it as it is with all parts. If I take one of them out, it means I'm ignoring part of the Torah. If I take one of them out and say, no, it's not for me, it means that I'm saying I'm hurting God's names. There is in Parashat Kedoshim, there is one question is coming there. The Parashat said, Kedoshim atem ki kadosh ani. You are Kadosh because I am Kadosh. You are Kedoshim because I am Kadosh. I don't know how to say Kadosh in English, I'm sorry, but I don't know if it's holy.
Holy. Huh?
Fine.
Sanctified.
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 Oh my God. Too many letters. I'll use the word holy for us at the moment. If I can say the Bible is, he said, you're holy because I'm holy. Fine. How come? With him, I'm holy. God says, I'm holy. Fine. We can understand. God is holy. There is no doubt. But how come I can be holy? If I'm going to the mikveh and coming out, I'm going to be holy? No. If I'm going to clean myself, I'm going to be holy? No. What will make me holy? If I see the Torah, we say the Torah is holy. The Torah is holy. Why? Because all the Torah is God's names. All of it. All of it. Shir HaShirim says, Zohar Shir HaShirim says that every letter in all 27 letters that we have God's names inside. B'ezrat Hashem, once we study it, we'll see how it's working. We saw it, by the way, by Aleph. We talked about the Aleph. Aleph is Yud Vav Yud, is 26, is Shem Havaya. Here. So if we go by, take for example Shin. Shin is 4 Vav. Yes? 3 Vav and 1 Vav on the bottom. 4 Vav. Here we go. So we have always God's names in every letter. No question about sentences and no question about the Torah. So the whole Torah is God's names. So it is Kadosh. So how come I can be Kadosh? How come I can be Kadosh? The answer is, if I see rabbis coming in, I'm standing. Why? Because, I'm sorry, don't get hurt because I'm saying it only for the shiur. Because of his weight? No. Because the Torah that you have inside, this is what I'm standing for. I respect the Torah that you have inside. So for me, he is holy. Because you have a Torah inside of him. So what the Zohar says? You want to be holy? You have a Torah inside of you. Make the Torah part of you. Make the Torah inside of you. That's how you can be holy. Lachen, that's the reason that the parasha says, Ani Kadosh, and you be Kadosh too. I can be there. There's no question. I just have to make it. I have to bring the Torah inside of me to be part of me. Not something that I have to do. It's something that I want to do. When I study the Torah, I take it inside of me and say, listen, This is part of me. I cannot leave it. This is part of who I am. Some people say, mitzvat anishim milumada. What does it mean? So why are you praying? It's written in the Bible, I have to pray 3 times. Fine. Shachrit, mincha, arvit, I have to stand, so I'm praying. Fine. So the other guy, why are you praying? Because I want to pray. What's the difference? Love. When you love him, you do everything. When you love him, you love the way. If you love him, that's the reason that the first mitzvah, and this is the core of all our mitzvot, is to love God. And if I love God, that's the key. But it's difficult. There is a book, said Se'ah Solid. The Se'ah Solid is saying, listen, don't tell me you love God. It's a joke. It's a wise joke. Listen, I'm loving. No. When he gives you everything, every day something, you depends on what he give you. He give you life. He give you money. He open your eyes. He's giving you food. He's giving you the family. He's giving you everything every day. So you depends on him. If you depends on him, you can say you love him, because I'm sure if he will take something from you, you immediately will start. Father, this is what I deserve. I'm praying 3 times a day. I'm doing everything, and I got this bench from here and this bench from here, and that's the way I love you. This is the feedback, and this is how you give me back whatever I do for you. Oh, you see, now we have a problem. What the Torah said, love each person by himself as he is. As he is. He said, where we see it? Where we see it? The Agadah says, the Torah the Agadah have 4 sons. Echad Tam, Rasha, She'eino Yoda Lishol. So 4 sons. So he's asking, really they have only one? Only Echad? That's it? Only one Rasha and one Tam and one Echad She'eino Yoda Lishol? He said, no. Each one of them have Echad. What is Echad? Echad is 1, but Echad in Gematria in Hebrew is 13. 13 is Gematria Ahava, love. What is connecting all of them, the Rasha and the Tam, is what is love. If you connect them together, and you love each one of them by his way, this is how to love God. That's the way to love God. If you look in Sukkot, we have four minim. Lulav, Etrog, Adas, Arava, and we said, if we want to bless, can we leave them separately? No, we can't. We have to connect them together. Against one, against whom? One against have no smell and no taste. One have a smell and taste, and etc. etc. It is like the 4 sons of Jewish, of who we are. Each one of them he is by his way. So we have to connect them together to be one. So for us, the basic to be there and to be, this is how we are going to say we can be Kedoshim as God wants us. So we cannot ignore something and say, listen, we are going to ignore one of them and leave it there. This is not for me now. I don't want to have it. Some guy came to me and said, Yitzhak, I want to study Kabbalah, but I'm afraid. He said, well, why you are afraid? Because they told me, if you are less than 40, you'll be crazy. And I don't want to be crazy. I told him, listen, I wasn't 40 at that time. I'm not 40, but let's be crazy together. I'm ready to be crazy. It doesn't make crazy no one. To study that is not making it. The only one problem that I have, why I'm saying I don't want it, it's not for me, not now, that's not the reason. We should study, we understand, we don't understand. We should read it, even if you don't understand it. I'll give you a story that I said it last time, and I'll say it again. I studied in the Zohar. Rabbi Simon says, if you study every day, reading, Grisa be'alma, reading without understanding, just read, don't understand, just read it. Anytime you have a problem, call me. I'll come to help you. I did that not because of that reason, but that's what I did. I lived in Kiev for 12 years. One day, I walked in a very narrow street in the city center, and I don't look shikse. And I hear them in Russian saying, "Here the Jews is coming," and they have the Nazis sign on their head, and said, now they're going to remind me how good Jewish I am. And really, I was afraid. I couldn't run away because they're younger than me, and I'm not 10 years old, so they can chase me and get me. And I cannot go in because I'm sure they're going to catch me. It's going to be the end of the day. But I remembered at that minute Rabbi Shimon, and I said in my mind, Rabbi Shimon, you promised if I'm in a problem, you will help me. Here I am. I was sure and nothing will happen to me. And I went through. I didn't understood. I caused them, they even didn't saw me. They even didn't pay any attention to me going between them. They even didn't look at me. I was like amazing. I said, what's happening here? I'm sure I saw them and they didn't saw me. They would say in Hebrew, Ro'eh ve'eno nira'ah. I'm sure that was the situation. After I caused them, I just went. I just don't look back. It's like Lot. I'm going to have much of salt, and I don't want to take any risk. I just left the place and I went. This is the power of the Zohar. By reading it, not doing nothing, just read it as it is. So by that, we said we cannot be able to dismiss and say all of them is one piece. And they are what? They are the Sefirots. And how they built? They built all of them in the 3 lines. The lines that we're able to talk about. I don't have any papers to sign on, but there are vertical lines on the spirit world. We have 10. The 10 is built Keter on the top, Chokhmah veBina, yes, and then Chesed veGvura, and Tiferet is in the middle, and then Netzach veHod, and Yesod is in the middle, and Malchut is in the bottom. That's how it's built. If you will happen, Bezat Hashem, next week, I'll be able to mark it on page and I'll show it. But if I'll make them lines of the Chasadim, which is coming from the lines of the Chokhmah, we call it Chachad, which is mean Chokhmah, Chesed, veNetzach, is one line. This is the longest one. And we have in the middle, that's the shortest one, between the Tiferet and the Yesod. And then we have on the left side, the middle length, which is going to be the Baga. Baga is Bina, Gvura, veHod. That's longer, the middle. So we have 3 lines, vertical lines basically, which we have the lines of the Chesed, the lines of the Gvura, and the lines of the Tiferet. Lines of, I can say, of Avraham, which is Chesed, line of Yitzchak, and lines of Yaakov, which is the Tiferet, and Semilat HaRachamim, which is inside. That's how they describe it. I'm not going deeper into that, but just to understand generally how it is. And then the Zohar said, Antu dan higlon velet man dan higlach. La leila vela tata vela mikol sitra. Eliyahu Navi said that you are, we're talking about God, you are the only one who is managing everything, who is managing the whole world. But even don't imagine, no one is managing him. No one is leading him. He is leading us, but no one is leading him. Not upstairs, not in the spirit world, not in this world, it's mean not up and not down, and not even for any side. Because I can say maybe in the back side, maybe in the front side, Maybe from other planet scientists, the answer is no. From not any side, no one is leading or controlling or God. So we cannot do that. When God creates Adam, we see two sentences that we have to, I want to understand them. We want to understand it together. The first sentence is נעשה אדם כדמותנו וכצלמנו. And the second pasuk after that immediately says ויבא אלוקים את האדם בצלמו בצלם אלוקים ברא אותו זכר ונקבה ברא אותם. What does it mean? What's the meaning of these two sentences? And it's weird. Very weird. And I will explain you why it's weird. Because if you look on Sheshet Yemei Bereshit, on 6 days that God created the world, we see that God create and made. Create and made. I want to understand 3 words before we go into that. First word is to livro. It means to create from nothing. Something 100% spiritual. Second one is ליצור, מהמילה, from the words יצירה. It's something half and half. For example, יצירה מוזיקלית, or an art, which something that you know that it exists, but you cannot touch it. For example, if you see a picture on the wall, you see the picture, you see the art. Can you touch it? No. You can touch, but what you touch? The oil, the canvas, the paper, but you cannot touch whatever there in this art. If I have the art and picture of rabbi, any rabbi, if I touch that, did I really touch the rabbi? No, I touched the paper. But where is the art? It's spiritual. You can see it, but you cannot touch it. You can hear it, the music, but you cannot touch it. This is something we call it yetzira. And the last one is לעשות, to make it. This is לעשות. The whole world in the 6 days, God create and made. And I have a suggestion: when you go home, take 1 hour, half an hour. Just read this from Yom Echad until Yom Shishi. Just read in Bereshit, but carefully. Don't run, and you will see everything that God is doing. He's doing both, but first He create, and then He made. That is why. Why the shoresh? He made. Of course, the shoresh is in the spirit world. That's where it is. The whole world meant like that. There is a reason why. Not even that, we say, not where the Zohar says, it's only made in 3 days. And there is a proof for that, but we're not going to that. So we have 6 days like that. On one thing. On one thing, God make it opposite. First made it, and then create it. Why? First, who is that? Adam. First of all, He made it. נעשה אדם כדמותנו וצלמנו, from the word to make, and then God says, ויברא אלוקים את האדם. Second sentence is, ויברא אלוקים את האדם. Hari says, He made Adam in this way. His legs was in עולם העשייה, and his head was in עולם הבריאה. And every time that he made a mistake, every time that he made a chet, he decreased his height from bria to yitzira, from yitzira to asiya. He make him, like I can say, shorter. He make him shorter by coming spiritually, not physically. Chas v'chanila. The point is not, we're not talking about nothing physically here. Holy Spirit. So we're asking, what was the reason here? What was why he first made it and then created? What's the point? The point is, and we say always, that our neshama came from where? From Kisei HaKavod. We say always, Ner Hashem Nishmat Adam. We have many sentences like that to understand, which mean part of God is our soul. So what he did, he created the body and put inside of it the soul. So what we see, we have a soul which have a malbush, have a cloth or something that is covering them. So the malbush on the soul, this is how we built in this world. For if we look and we can say ourselves, I'm coming to this world because I'm in a Gilgul. If I came to this world and I met Chas v'Chalila Chet, me or the soul, never, ever God's spirit get any damage. No way. What he's doing every night, the levush is staying here, and the soul is going there, and he's telling what we did to her. He's giving a edut, what we did to her. And she put, of course, she's depositing the videotape, and that's it. But the videotape is very interesting because in the bottom of the video there is a translation what was our meaning when we did everything. Not only the picture, but the meaning is there. So no way for us to say, no, I really didn't mean that. So the meaning is there too. But the soul is never get hurt, never. It's going from one, but the levush is changing. The malbush is changing. So each one of us have a malbush. The malbush have two pieces. Two parts. One of the parts is with us, and one of the parts staying upstairs. So every mitzvah that we do, we are completing part of our malbush upstairs. So that's what the Zohar says. לבושים תקינת לון דמנה ופרחי נשמתים לבני נשה. וכמה גופים תקינת לון דתקנו גופה לגבי לבושים דמחייסן עליהם. It's mean that our soul, whatever is there, it's have a levush. And this levush is here and there. And not only that, the meaning of this sentence is the reincarnation. The reincarnation is part of, we can say, the same soul have different bodies, have a different malbushim. Because it was here before, I myself, I can't say that I know for sure, I just can say from what I read from the Ari books, I'm not a new soul. I was here already, I don't know how many times. I made some mistakes, and that's the reason I'm here, to fix what I did in the previous life that I was here. And probably I was a naughty boy, I had something not good, and I'm here to fix it. So I have a few. I'm not sure, I don't know how many, but I'm sure, because that's how we build. That's how we are here.
Isn't that the same for everybody?
All of us. All of us. I'm not talking about the Goyim. Forget about the Goyim. I'm not talking about the Jewish. The Goyim is a different account. They have different reasons. They have different way. It's different. We're talking about ourselves. Ourselves, I'm talking about God's sons. It's mean we, the Jewish. That's the reason that all of us, all the bodies, I can say the bodies, all the levushim was built from these 10 midot that God gave us. That's how we built. And how we count it. Again, not because it's like that. It's only a way of talking. for us to be able to understand it, for us to communicate. And he said what? Chesed do'ai mina. Chesed is the right hand. And Gvura is the left hand. And Tiferet is the body. Netzach ve'hod are the two legs. Ve'yesod tziyuma degufa od brit kodesh. And the yesod is the end of the body, which is od brit kodesh, the sign of the holy agreement with God. With the holy agreement, which I can say with God. Until now I understood, but the last sentence is making it difficult for me. I can understand, you can say, okay, right hand is the chesed and left hand is the gvura, and the body is the tiferet, fine, and the yesod I can understand, that's the end of the body, that's I can understand. But why he call it Ot Brit Kodesh? Why he call it the sign of the holy agreement? In Tikkun 20, the Zohar asking question. And he says, what's the meaning of this sentence? Mi ya'aleh lanu hashamayma. What's the point? What's the mean? Who is going to take for us to the shamayim, to the sky? I can't say sky is shamayim, but I can try to translate it. I will use this word. I feel that the word sky is abusing is abusing the milah shamayim, the word shamayim. But anyway, for our understanding, I will use that. What does that mean? The Zohar said like that. Let's try to see the letters. And the letters are Mi Ya'aleh Lanu Shamayim. The first letters in these words are Mem from me, Yud from Ya'aleh, Lamed from Lanu, and the Hey from Hashamayma. It means Milah. And the last word, the last letters are Mi, Yud, Ya'aleh, K, Lanu, Vav, Hashamayma, K. It's Mishem Hashem, Shem Havaya. Now the question is, what does that mean? We can understand, the Zohar says, fine, that's the word of agreement between us and God. Fine. Brit, Milah, a word. We went with God, thank you. We have an agreement. But we know it's not like that. When we want to say, we say Brit Milah, we mean Brit Milah. How it's connected to this one? How it's connected to what we say, Brit Milah? The word is Milah. How we do it? Avraham Avinu and Sefirots are trying to explain it to us. He said we have 5. This is in Mishnah 28, Kav Zayin. 5 and 5, and the Brit in the middle. 5 and 5, and the agreement is in the middle. 5 in the leg, 5 in the leg, and the Brit in the middle. And this Brit is against that Brit. So this is one. So when I can say, when we want to do it, this is our agreement with God. Both of them, that's how equal to keep it balanced. Between both of them, this is how we keep our words. So that's the reason the Zohar says in Tikkun 47, in Tikkun 30, if you want to make it with Milah and Pri'ah. Milah and Pri'ah keneged Shamor v'Zachor, that's the key. That's the reason, by the way. If you don't make a Pri'ah, it's like you didn't make any Milah. You make the Pri'ah, you made the Milah. What's the Pri'ah? The Pri'ah is really you're exploding the K, the last K in Shem Hashem. And this is how important it is. And that's the reason that he says, the Zohar in Tikkun 30 that we have to keep it. Why? Because the whole Bible is there. If you will keep it, you keep the Bible. If you will abuse it, you abuse the Bible. If you put it in the Reshut Acheret, like in the other Reshut, not in Reshut HaYachid, you take it in Reshut HaRabim, it's like the Zohar says, that you take the whole Torah and throw it, chas v'chalila, to the garbage. That's how important is the Yesod. And what is Reshut Acheret? Zohar says in Tikkun 30, very easy. It's not very easy, but he said, well, what is this? It's example, he said, if you take chas v'chalila, a Jewish guy going with a Goya. This is going from Reshut HaYachid. Reshut HaYachid is he and his wife. And Reshut Acheret is going to the Goya, which is Reshut HaRabim. So that's one of them, for example. He gave another example. If someone is married, and he make a ni'uf, chas v'chalila, and he have a Reshut HaYachid with his wife, and suddenly he's going to another woman, she's not his wife, and this is Reshut HaRabim. Even there he's throwing the Torah. Wait, why? Because the whole thing is on the basic commitment that you have with God. And the Yesod, what is Yesod? Is the foundation. That's the reason. The foundation between us and God, that's the base. Everything is there. That's the reason Zeh is complicated, etc., etc., etc. So if you want to make holy yourself, please take care of that. That's why he said, Yesod, Siyumah, the Gufa, Ot is a sign. Brit is a sign between me and an agreement between me and God. We and God, I can say. And Kodesh, this is Him. So now we can understand it. How holy it is and how holy we have to keep it and to be aware where we are and what we have and how we have to keep it, chas v'chalila, not to make any mistakes. Amen. Yes, in Tikkun 47 there is something there. It's not part of this, but I feel I can say it because we touched this question. The Zohar is asking, what does that mean? Naaseh Adam. It means we're going to make Adam. Wait. If you want to make him, it means he wasn't Adam before. The Zohar says yes, what he was? Ger. He was Ger. You want to make him Adam? You want to make him Adam? We have condition. What's the condition? If you want to make him Adam, we have 4 conditions. First of all, you have to keep it Shabbat. Keep Shabbat. Neged Shamor v'Zachor. If you made it, made it. You didn't made it, you didn't made it. And Farshim asking, what does that mean? If yes, yes, if no, no. The Zohar said, if yes, im lav lav. If no, is no. What do you mean if no, no? If you didn't keep it, you keep Ger. Forget to be Adam. You will not be Adam. So, if I want to be Adam, I have to keep Shabbat. Second one he said, I have to make milah upriya. Keneged shamor v'zachor. If you made it, made it. If not, not. What do you mean if not, not? If not, you'll be ger. You will lose the basic things, what we call it, to be Adam. So we have 5 rules. It sounds weird, but not weird. It sounds a little bit different. Because he said what they are. Shabbat, Tefillin, Milah, Yibum v'chalitza, and that's the 4. Why Yibum v'chalitza? How come the Zohar suddenly decided to go the Yibum v'chalitza to make the base connection between us and God? The point is, what God is promising in the Yibum v'chalitza? He said, listen, I promise you, if you will marry her, it's your brother, sister, I'm going to bring him back to this world and I promise you he is going to have a son. Because when he passed away in the previous life, he didn't have any children. There is an argument if children it's mean only boys or boys and girls. But I will leave it on the side at the moment. That's not the question. But I can say on the Pshat, no children. Fine. The Torah promising him, listen, if you will make it, he is going to reincarnate, you're going to bring him, he is going to be here, and he is going to marry, and he is going to have children. So why it is a condition? If you accept that, you believe in him. If you don't believe him, that he can do it, so we have nothing to talk. We lose our basic condition between us and God. So there are not or condition, there are and condition. It's not that I have to make only one of them. I have to make all of them. If I didn't make even one of them, I lost the connection. It's like they are in line, all these mitzvot. Something that I have to keep. So the Od Brit Kodesh is something very basic between me and God if I want to keep myself. If I want to keep myself and to be there and to accept it and everything to be there. And then he said, Malchut Peh, Torah shebe'al Peh karinan le, Chochma mocha yi machshava milgar. So he said that the Malchut is something that's really basic and all of them connecting into them. That's how we call it the Malchut. This is the Peh. And what's the Peh have? Torah shebe'al Peh. What does that mean? That when Moshe went to Har Sinai, to God, and he went to bring the Torah, he got two Torahs at the same time. One Torah is a written Torah, and the other one is a verbal Torah. Why? What's the point? The answer is, we see it because the basic Torah was written and we got it where? In the Ten Commandments. That's how we got it. And we have an explanation where is the whole Torah in the Ten Commandments. You see only 10 Aseret HaDibrot. Where is the whole Torah is there? How come? You can say the Ten Commandments is the whole Torah. No chas v'chalila. No. The whole Torah is in the Ten Commandments. We have to write, to open it, and to see, and to understand how it's built, to be able to understand it. But side by side to that, there is a spirit there, and there is the Torah shebe'al Peh. That's a verbal Torah that Moshe got, and he should give to us to be able to go deeper where you believe and want to go inside of that. And this is where we come from this world. The question is, where is that exist? The voice is exist only here. If I'll go to Olam HaYetzirah, there is no voice. We don't need the voice anymore. The voice will be exist, but only spiritual. There's nothing there. I can hear it by my ears. If I go to the higher words, even there is no voice for us to listen and to hear them. So this only exists here for us to be able to communicate, to talk, but the basic of that, we got it because of the Bible, because of Torah shebe'al Peh. I think we made it too long. I will stop here with Hashem and we'll continue in 2 weeks' time. In 3 weeks' time.
Next week is
Hebrew?
Huh?
off next week, then Hebrew, and then English.
Okay. So 3 weeks from now. And we'll continue from here though. So Stanley, I see you tired and I don't want you to lose the connection. At least you get, I'm not talking only for them, I think for you, for me it's the point that you will understand it. At least who is here will get some benefit. You have any questions? I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. I'm not sure that I can answer all of them. I don't know, maybe I don't understand enough, but at least I'll try. Nothing? Well, really, I'm so good?
reserve, yes.
Or might be saying it was so high that the Yehudi understood nothing, and then I lost everything.
The ice prescription, the five, I don't know say what the five fingers and how is it negative prescription.
You mean the 5 and the 5 and the 1?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I will explain it. Fine. Nice question. I made it fast. It's very deep, and I try to make it simple for understanding. Avraham Avinu says, חמש וחמש והברית באמצע. That's how he described it. חמש וחמש והברית באמצע. So he said what it is. 5, which is the matzapach. Matzapach, okay. 5 matzapach here, 5 matzapach here, and the brit. Brit is here. Yes, but it's the same we have in the wrong line.
So how is not that line 5 and 5?
So there we have there we have 2. Why is 5? Well, why they call it matzapach? Because that's the end of the body, and the same in Hebrew there are the end letters. Yes, otiyot sofiyot. So otiyot sofiyot we have here, and otiyot sofiyot we have in the links. So there we have 5 and 5, and the brit in the middle. So, and then Avraham Avinu said, "Listen, it's nice, but we have to look on who they are. These 2 brit, who they are." He said, "The brit halashon against brit hamaor. So they are one. That's the reason when we say brit milah, we say this, but we mean that." Okay.
That means we have to control both our physical body and our mind. I mean, what is the...
What's the idea?
Yeah.
What's the point behind that? That there is a question in Tikkun HaShovavim. You know this Tikkun? You probably heard about this. And Tikkun HaShovavim is when we do something not nicely, and we have Zara Lebatala, and we have to fix them. In Tikkun HaShovavim, we fix them. When I was a beginner, I came to my rabbi, and we went to the Tikkun HaShovavim, and I saw old men there. One of them, the oldest one, was about 90, 95. After I finished the Tikkun, I came to the rabbi. I said, "Rabbi, please let me understand. Don't tell me this rabbi there, 92 years old, he still has Zera Lebatala. I mean, no way. Forgive me that I'm saying that, but I have no doubts. I'm even ashamed even to say it, but don't tell me that." He said, "Yitzchak, did you really study there, Patach Eliyahu?" I said, "Yes." I said, "If I studied Patach Eliyahu?" I said, "Yes, of course I studied. What's the question?" He said, "Listen, when you say words, there are, I can say holy words from the Torah, and your mind is some other place. For example, I'm reading Shachrit, and my mind is in the Mondial. I don't know, now Mondial is the football games around the world. There is someone, spiritually, the angel is sitting there, and he's waiting. He says, "Yitzchak, where are you? Where is your mind? In the football game? No problem, go to your football. Give me the words." He's taking my words. He's going to God. I said, "God, listen, this is the reality. His mind is in the game, and the words is holy words. He's supposed to get his mind because we are following our thought. The thinking is higher than the words. Is higher. So we give him his whatever he thought. The words give to us. What's happened immediately? It is exactly like Zera Batara. Whatever he create, they took it. They took it, and of course they got powered, etc., etc. So this is exactly like what's happened in Zera Batara. You give them something holy, that they took it to the wrong place. So even you can come to Zera Batara by not the right things, not connecting your mind and the words are not together, and you're losing them. you're losing them.
So Patach Eliyahu is to show us how to do prayer, how to pray?
No, Patach Eliyahu is explaining us. This is what we go. I told you, we're going from the top of it. We're not going deep inside. But now we can see, we can understand. Now we can understand what they are and how they're connected and who they are and what we should do and what we should not do and what we have to be careful because they are one. Some people say, it doesn't matter what I said. The words have no meaning. Action is there. No, stop. The words have a lot of meaning. You can destroy the words and you can build the word. There is a story about king of Persia. He was ill. And they told him, listen, if you are going to give lion milk, I don't know how to say it. Lionette?
Lioness.
Female.
Yeah, the female lion.
Lioness.
Okay. Lionette milk, the king will be healthy. So the guy is running to the forest, and he look for her. He saw her. She got asleep. He came close to her, milked her. He locked the milk, and he's walking with the milk on his back. And the eye said, "It's because of me. I saw her." The leg says, "Listen, because of me, I want to bring it." The hand says, "Because of me." And they start bragging like that. So each one of them, because of me, until the mouse came in and said, "That's everything me." I said, "Crazy what you did. You didn't do nothing. We did everything." I said, "Listen, you want to do what I'm telling you, or you're taking risks?" Then listen, you're talking stories. Then leave it like that. He came before the king and said, "What you have?" He said, "Dog milk." He said, "Dog milk? Kill him." Immediately all the body parts start to talk and say, "Listen, you're right, you are kings of the world, you did everything, it's everything because of you." And then he came and said, "Okay, this is the lionette milk," and etc. They prove it and they checked and they came. So you can see, he could die only because of this words. So the words have meaning. The Zohar said, I give you a small matana. It's written there in Shir Shirim that I will go from other direction. When there was in Ma'amad and Sinai, it's written that the Bnei Israel ra'u et hakolot. They saw the voice. How you can see a voice? There's no way to see a voice. Voice is something spiritual, which we just talked about it, like musician art. How you can see the words? The Zohar says like this. The letters are like a horse. The nikud is the legs, and the rochev, who is sitting on the horse, who is leading the horse, is the tam. But who is the legs? When the legs are patach, for example, there are three angels. The Rashi Tevot of their names is Patach, Pei, Tav, Chet, or Kuf, Mem, Tzadik, or Chet, Yud, Resh, Yud, Kuf. The name of the Nikud is the capital letters of the names of the angels who's taking them. And they taking the voice, the words, the letters on their back where the time is showing them where to go. So what they saw basically, they saw the angels taking the letters on their back. So what is the voice? The voice is letters and the nikud and the tam. This is the voice. If I want to pronounce the letter Aleph by itself, I can do it? No. No. I can do it only in two conditions. That I give him a nikud, A, I, O. Not only even that, I have to make a tam on it that I'll be able to give it like any kind of meaning to what I want to say. For example, if I see my son, I can tell him, "Son, I love you." Or I say, "I love you." Oh, it's different meaning. It's different meaning. The same letters, the same nikud, everything is the same, but the time is different. Let's make it different. So what they saw, they saw the angels taking the letters of the back to the upper soul. I said, where? Where? And the angels coming from Olam Yitzirah, and they leave the letters, going up higher place. Where? Above Yitzirah. Going to Bria. Where? Going to the Atzilut. The Zohar says in the Atzilut are going to split. Because voice have two things. Have light and power. Where we see it? Where we see that the voice have light and power, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu came Ma'amad HaSinai to talk to Israel, we saw there and saying in the Torah that God talked to them. How God can talk to human being? It can't be. Through the Reki'im. So He is only light. He have a power and the light. Through the Reki'im that come down, become a voice. It's the same, I'm doing opposite. When I talk the voice from down and take it up, it's going to split. To where? The light is going to Atzilut and Ak. I don't know if you understand, but that's where we go. And where is go the power? Power going to, I don't know how to say it in English, but it's going to the stars and moons and etc. Because changing them is changing the words. This is Sefirots.
They're the conduits?
Hmm?
The moons and stars are conduits of energy?
Yes. So our voice can move them right and left. That's how powerful we are with our words. We can destroy the words and we can rebuild the words.
Sorry, I didn't hear. What was the tam again? What's the also an angel? Tam.
The tam is leading you, leading the sentences where to go.
Is that also an angel? Is it the tam?
Yes. No, it's not an angel. No, it's not an angel. No. The angel is only the legs that come from the bottom and they're taking up.
Now how does one recover all those words which are disconnected from the mashal of the person?
Oh, again, I'm sorry?
How can you recover? Like there's a tikkunim for the Zera Bakala, like in the Shovavim. Does that include the tikkun of the lost words which are disconnected from the machshavot of the person?
We have few places we can bring them back. One of the places is in Tfilat HaAmidah, and there is a name Chet Bet Vav, that we have the kavanah there for that, and we're asking them to bring back all the nitzotzot of ours. The second chance or second opportunity is Arvit of Shavuot. Arvit of Shavuot. This Arvit, a very, very, very special Arvit, is all the, I can say, weak, miserable, non-good tefillot that we made, and the angels come from them sick. One has no wing, one have no leg, one have no eye, I don't know, whatever we had there. We fix all of them and bring them back. And there is another one, another possibility for us in Tikkun Shuvavim to help to fix them and bring them back. So we have, Baruch Hashem, few opportunities. Daily, yearly we have 3 times opportunities. So Baruch Hashem there is. If you want to do it, there is always enough chances to do it.
That is for both things, both for the zera and also for the words as well. Which
yes.
You have to know the right concentration for it.
And we have, but I think easier. It's like we said always. Which is easier, to study this during the year, or when we have examination to run to study? It's the same. It's easier. Study through the year. It's easier for you, and we go slowly, and beat it fine. Unless not studying the whole year, and just before the examination, We are dying and sitting day and night and running just to be able to have enough time to study. That's exactly the difference.
What about the mikveh? Doesn't the mikveh also do a tikkun?
I'm sorry?
Does the mikveh also do a tikkun for the zera?
For what? For the zera?
Yeah.
The mikveh only will help you to keep you pure. That's the point. But if you really go, I'm very careful with that. I'm very, because I don't know you personally. But the key is to make it with cold water. No hot water. Forget hot water. We cannot do with hot water. We're not going to make it with hot water. Because you can't make any kavanah in hot water. You cannot think about any God's names in hot water. It's impossible. So we have to make it with cold water. That's the right things to do. Then you can help yourself. For example, if you make gilgulim, you know the gilgulim is just in the snow. You can help yourself. Gilgulei sheleg. You can help yourself by that. Sometimes when the water is too cold, it's still like icy water, I can call it. It's not comfortable, but after 10 minutes you forget it. And so you're suffering for a few minutes. But believe me, from my experience, it's worth every second. Gilgulim in the sheleg, it's worth every second. I made it a few times in my life, and it's worth every second. I don't take a risk. Huh?
You have to wait for the sheleg.
Sure, absolutely. That's how you can make it in the winter. So, but it's worth. It's worth but you have to prepare yourself. You're not going and jumping into the snow. It's not like this. You have 3-4 days to prepare yourself. You have to make things to make yourself ready for that. I made some mistakes with that, but times proved me that I have to make decisions, make it or not.
It's in Russia.
Hmm?
In Russia.
Sorry?
Russia.
I was in the States.
The States?
Yes, and we are fasting 3 days. All 3 days. And we don't eat. No drink, no eat.
Not at night time, straight here. Not at night time also, just straight.
Straight 3 days. But in the end of the 3rd day, just before the Shkia, you have to make the Gilgulim in the sheleg. And I had a house in the upstate New York. And I said, okay. I'm sorry to describe it. I was ready. I was naked. Everything is nice. Snow outside. I'm alone. There's no one. I was sure to be sure that there's no one. And I said, Yitzchak, check the snow. If the snow is good or not good. My life, I lived in the last 25 years in Russia, so I understand what it means snow. So I put my leg inside of the snow just to feel if the snow is icy or snow is too soft, and even the weather was okay. It was minus 25 centigrade. It was fine for me. I feel comfortable in this temperature, but I said, I put my leg inside and I said, no, it's cold, no, yes, no, time gone. It's already dark, I cannot do it. What to do? Another day. 4th day. Okay, it's nice. I fast a day, I study all day. Evening come, I prepared myself, everything is ready. The shower is ready, everything is ready, and I'm going to check. I said to myself, now you're not checking the snow. Yet Sarah played with me. Wonderful. Yes, no, I put my leg into the snow. Finished. 10 minutes of bargaining. No, you cannot do it. And I already made it a few good times before. I can say hundreds, but a few good times I made it before, so I understand what it is. But Yetzirah worked with me and destroyed me. I said, not destroyed, but he avoided me from doing it. 5th day, fasting. Now already I see colors, I'm half dead already. But what to do? I decided I'm going to make it. He's not going to play a game with me. No way. I have to make it. On the 5th day, I opened the door. I even thought, I said, Israel, you're not going Don't talk to this Yetzer Hara, don't let him talk to you now. That's it. I jumped into the snow. Immediately, don't even thinking. I made everything come out, and then I finished it. Of course I was, it's not, but it's worth it, because you feel, I'm sorry to say it, but this is the reality, that's what I felt. How dirty is the body? How much you don't want to come back to this body? It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. What I need this for? Leave me, just let me go. I said, no, I can't. I still have work to do here. I still want to stay here. I can do something here that I cannot do upstairs, so I cannot leave it. You feel how I can say dirty, but how much you don't want to stay in this body. Not that I was a very naughty boy in this life, but probably if I'm here, I had some history. If I have some history, I want to fix it. I don't know, this Gilgul, the previous Gilgul, I don't know, so make it. Well, what's the point? Suffering 10 minutes, and that's it. After that, I went to the shower, took a hot shower, and I had lunch, very nice dinner, and that's it. I forget the whole 5 days. Thanks God we have a good way of forgetting things, otherwise we would die.
Right, so I didn't understand the significance that Adam Arishon was made before he was formed. That's what you said.
Was made what?
Not saying that.
You said created and made,
Yeah.
but by Adam Rishon it was,
Opposite from the whole world?
The
Yeah.
Naseh was
Yes.
Different.
Yeah, you want to
The
understand
opposite
why?
order. Yes.
Why?
Yeah, what does it mean? The
Okay.
word, no. The made before he was...
The whole world was basically built. No, I'll start from other place, otherwise you will understand it. The Bible. And I'll call it the Upper Bible. But this Bible, he made his master plan, how things should be, and he want to. He looked at the world. This is not our Bible. That's the Bible there. That's the Bible we should get in the first Luchot that Moshe come down, which is very high, which is not something that we can understand it now. And then, what's happened there? And God make Kinyan, and we got this Bible that we have here now. We call it Torah Mima. Fine? In this Torah Mima, everything have a Shorashim of the spirit world. That's why God created, made. Bara v'asa. That's all 6 days. But Adam made a mistake. So he decided, for this mistake, he had first to make him, and then first to make him, first lasot, and then to create him. First he have to make the body to be exist, and then he put the spirit inside. We see it twice. This was the first one. Where is the second one? The second one כתוב, וייצר השם אלוקים את האדם, עפר מן האדמה, ויפח באפיו נשמת חיים. Where? First he made it from earth, and then he put the spirit inside. By the way, that's the reason that במעמד הר סיני, the mountain become above Israel. Why? What's the reason? God want to kill them? No. Opposite. This mountain want to go back to his Shorashim. Where? In the upper world. He want to go back to his Shorashim because it was very close to go there, all of us. It was very close to that. So God said, if you accept it, he's going there. If you don't accept it, you come down. And then we have to continue to work on this world. Now you can understand that everything have a Shorashim upstairs. Everything. Except Adam. So Adam have is here. He made it from here. That's the reason we go up and up. That's why we want to climb spiritually up and to come to the higher. So we start from grounded. That's the reason that if you want to go to a higher place in the spirit world, you have to come to this world, to the lower place, to make things to go up and there. It's okay to answer your question?
Yes, I think
Good.
so. Yeah, Baruch Hashem.
Okay. Baruch Hashem.